What's good, y'all? This your boy D the Duelist here. Back at you at it again. You know, this is my second video. You guys gonna start seeing me do a lot more deck profiles, and even gonna try to record some live duels in my locals out here in the central Mississippi area out in Pearl, Mendenhall, and in Ridgeland. But so I got a second place deck profile for you guys from the fans shop out in Ridgeland. I played branded Dogmatika Eldlich. This is a deck I have been working with for a little minute. You know, past few months I've been playing this deck. I got third at 3v3, playing the middle with this deck with some teammates, and recently I just got second place with it. So it's still some stuff I want to out and try with the deck, and stuff ways I want to experiment with it and try to make it better. So I'm gonna talk about that as we go through the profile. So first thing I want to talk about Branded Fusion. So so that's the first card in the deck. You know, most powerful card. You want to see it, you can still play if you don't see it, but you know it's real. You know, it's very good ash bait. That's the way I like to see it. Yeah, very good ash bait. So you make sure your Sanguine goes through. Dumps your Golden Lord. You know, it has a lot of utility in the deck. Next, draw power, Pot of Extravagance. So, you know, this one with Branded Fusion, these are all like my power spells, as I like to call them. You know, hey, you know, and some people use Prosperity. I think Prosperity is a very good card. But I like just having, you know, go +1 to Pot of Extravagance. Sometimes, you know, drawing 2 extra cards, you know, you draw into more disruptions or draw into your Branded Fusion. But Pot of Extravagance does, I would say, make the deck a little bit more consistent, because you're going to want to see your Floodgate or that Branded Fusion. But I love Pot of Extravagance, just, you know, sometimes drawing to extra hand traps or extra disruption. Along with that, I also run 3 Cursed Eldlich. You know, this is a staple in Eldlich decks. You know, some people play it 2. I love 3 just because, you know, it combos with Branded Fusion. So you resolve your Cursed Eldlich, you pay your 8, you feel great. You get access to a Golden Land, then, you know, activate Branded Fusion. The Golden Lord you can use the Golden Lord in your grave to send this, and then this is gonna dump a Golden Land or a Golden Lord. So it gives you access to both sides of your engine. And whenever Cursed Eldlich, you know, even other formats when I play Eldlich, I've been playing Eldlich since 2020. Whenever you have an opportunity to, you know, play engines that pop this or get this off the field after resolve this effect and get both sides of your Eldlich engine, you are probably winning the game. So that's why I've always loved running it at 3, just to keep that opportunity. So Branded Fusion goes with it, but also this card. I run 2 Nadir, and to go with the Nadir, I run 2 Ecclesia. So this rounds off my starters. I believe it's about 13 starters. You know, that's a good ratio, you know, 13 in a 42 card deck. So, you know, Nadir, you know, I can always send, it combos well with Cursed Eldlich. You know, I can always send the Nettis, Elder Entity Nettis, to pop the Eldlich to get it going, so get that engine. Or I could send a Albion to the grave, and in phase I get the search, and then it goes into Ecclesia. And I'm not playing the floor with Ecclesia, I'm just playing it with 2 punishment. Reason why, I've tested floor, it bricks more than it comes up in the game to actually negate. A lot of times you know, floor just, you know, I can use it to beat over bodies and stuff, and it helps, you know, really put pressure on the board. But for Saturday, I just wanted to experiment with more just, you know, streamlined, consistent builds. So this just grab punishment. You know, punishment helps you to pop 2 or pop 1, and you know, this sending Albion sometimes that makes, you know, allows you to grab your Branded Fusion on in phase and allows you to continue, you know, have that follow up on your next turn to get into your Branded engine. So, you know, Nadir itself gets you into both engines, you know, either way. So that's my starters. Now for my engine traps. So this is the Eldlich portion of the engine. So I run 3 Sanguine, I run 3 Conquistadors, and I also run 1 Hakero. So this is my Eldlich lineup with 3 Cursed Eldlich. So, you know, it's a slightly smaller lineup. A lot of people run 2 Hakero. I chose to go with 1 for this tournament. And I have not been missing a second Hakero. Like, you know, I always tell you, if you manage your resources correctly with Eldlich, you know, you should never be running out of your Eldlich cards. A lot of people don't manage the resources well. And if you're running out of Eldlich and you still have not won the game, that means you're just mismanaging the resources. But so just 7 cards, and if you see, so you know, combo wise, you know, if you see any of these with the branded fusion, if you see any of these with the branded fusion, you know, it basically, you know, opens up your engine. And seeing one of these cards, you know, it's a constant plus. And they you know, what make Eldlich good is because it trades resources so well with other decks. So, you know, even if I'm popping with Conquistador, you know, Conquistador stay on the field and it's gonna float. This leads you to every part of the engine. Sanguine, the best card in the deck. All right, so that's my Eldlich cards. And you know, since I'm talking about engine traps, you know, Dogmatika Punishment, I just run 2 punishment to go with the Ecclesia. Very good card, and you know, the biggest issue, you know, punishment being played in other decks is, you know, it cuts you off from the extra deck. You basically scythe yourself. But with this deck, only card that it's only one card in the whole deck that goes into the extra deck, and that's Branded Fusion. You see, I don't run any Albaz or no branded cards, you know, branded opening to try to get to the branded fusion, because I don't want to be dependent on the branded engine. That's the whole point, because, you know, we got these decks that scythe locking now, trying to keep you out the extra deck. So if I get scythed, you know, I go against one of these combo decks and they scythe me first, it doesn't hinder me as much, because you know, okay, so you're stopping 3 cards in my deck, big deal. So I'm able to still play throughs, you know, but that's the big thing with punishment. But in this deck, like I said, I don't go into the extra deck as often, unless I'm doing my branded plays. But Dogmatika Punishment is a very powerful card, good card. My engine requirements. So, you know, 2 Golden Lord, I believe in 2. So, you know, I feel like if you're playing much more of a pure Eldlich deck, you can run 3, because going first, he's a brick. But then if you lose the dice roll and you're going second, you're praying to God you see him. Like, so, you know, you have a 50, you know, in a 40 card deck, you know, if you know you've got 1, 2, and you run your 3 Eldlich, and that's 5, you know, that's 5 ways to access him. Half your games, you're going to see him. So a lot of times you're going second, you find a way to get access to him. You got a coin flip, you're running just a straight up 40 card deck. But yeah, but it's really the best card in the game. He solos Sorso. I tell people all the time he solos Sorso, because if you open up him with a spell or a trap, you know, use him, get rid of 1 card, then he got something else to set, you know, bam, bring him back. He runs over any other card they got, or he forces you know, for them to activate something. So, you know, he's a threat to Sorso, you know, one of the best decks. And he's just, you know, he's always recurring, you know, always coming back. So definitely one of my favorite cards, and, you know, one of the best cards in the game. And then just one following about that. Now, something I do want to change. I experimented with just 1 for this tournament, but he really do need to be at 2, because he actually functions the same as Golden Lord. He's a brick going first if you see him, but if you're going second, he is a card you want to see, because the deck doesn't really have a normal summon. And Ecclesia, you can see it say Nadir and Ecclesia can be a normal summon, but if you open up with the branded fusion, you know, they just, you know, become extenders. But I'm following about that. This is a very, you know, I hate seeing him going first, but if you're going second and you summon him, normal summon him, and then you have an Eldlich card in hand, so you know that discard is nothing. You know, Eldlich is the best discard fodder in the game. All right, so that completes that part. Hand traps, I just run 3 Ash, you know, very standard, 3 Empire, very standard. You know, these are cards, you know, everybody runs, but I just need 6. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, like I said, I'm running 42, and I'm thinking about the numbers. You know, if I run 5 hand traps, half the time I need to see them, you know, 6 and 42, you know, basically I'm still around that 50% area. And, you know, so this format, you're either going to open up a handful of hand traps in order to beat them, or, you know, if you open up 1, it really don't do much. But with this deck, you know, these aren't my only going second cards. So like I said, Golden Lord and Cursed Elden are technically going second cards. So, you know, if I open up one of these, you know, just to have my opponent in on a board that's less viable, you know, that's really the goal with your hand trap, just so they don't just super duper combo on you. Other traps, play 3 strike, just experiment with 3 strikes for the tournament. You know, strike comes up, you know, it gets rid of it, you pay 15, you know, yeah, it gets rid of a body and it stops the cost. So it helps with advantage and tempo, because the power of Eldlich deck is maintaining the advantage. You know, there's plenty of times I could play through. I've been playing Eldlich for a minute, so plenty of times in Eldlich you'll play through a board and you done negated almost everything your opponent. I mean, you done triggered everything your opponent could have. You forced them to activate, and they down to like 2 or 3 cards, but you're down. You still got your whole 6 cards because you're using Eldlich, and strike helps maintain that advantage and slow down their tempo a lot. Especially like if you're striking, like when the Tenyis, when the Sword Soul summon synchros and you strike the synchro summon, it stops them from getting their grave effect, so you don't get that burn from the long one. The Moyi don't get don't get a draw. Tai don't get to dump. So that's a very important, interaction. And also striking the needle fiber, that stops a lot of issues. Also going second, you can set strike, and strike can help you play into a board. I coupled that with torrential, tried torrential. Didn't really resolve it today. Yesterday. I think I resolved it once. It's pretty okay. A lot of people don't play around torrential because it's not seen that much. But I only put in this was just a little, just my tech for Saturday. Just give me a little edge. I just wanted to try it out. Then my floodgates. I played 3 summon limit and just 2 skill drains. So honestly with this, I've been back and forth with summon limit in the main deck and the side deck. Summon limit going first is actually very good. Even though I'm going second, because like I said, if you open Golden Lord, he's helping you to out their board, and you get them, you basically break their board and break it down. Even if you don't kill them, you break the board and then you set this, and then you flip it on their turn. They end up being scooping. And a lot of people skill drain just like Mystic Mind. Folks can't stop it, shoot, it's over with. They tend to scoop. But other cards I've tried, Goals and Match too. I think Goals and Match is very good because on the Punk Synchro deck, so they struggle against Goals, and Goals is actually better going second as well. So honestly, I'll probably switch this out and try Goals for the next turn. All right, so that's main deck, 42 cards. Extra deck. So I've run Pot of Extravagance, so I got multiples of a lot of stuff. So I got for the Brandon engine, I run 3 Albion, 3 Rubellion, and the standard 3 Mirror Jade. And I still none of this standard, but and also 1 Titaniclad. So this is basically my Brandon engine. I can always send Titaniclad. I can send it off the Mirror Jade, send it off the Nadir. I can send Albion off of Nadir, Mirror Jade, and just to get the follow up. Now that's why I also want to run the extra the second Fallen of Albaz, because having him and on your opponent's turn sending the Albion, you search the Brandon Fusion. Having that allows you to make so many more plays, especially going to the other parts of the extra deck that I have. Now what I would do, because I don't run any darks, this is just for comboing to give me a couple more bodies on the field. On the follow-up, theory. But, I shouldn't be running three of him, probably 2, bump him down to 2. And maybe, try to put a dark, once I had the other Fallen of Albaz, that'd be another dark target. Play Predaplant, Dragos to Palea, Starving Venom, if I ever have, I can summon him off the Albion. He's better, he's just if I have to, Fallen of Albaz and use him, like the Super Poly uses effect to fuse off cards off in the field. So just these guys. 2 Nadir. Not 2 Nettis. Just for the Nadir and the punishment, and also 1 Link spot. So like I said, one thing I do think I would add like maybe a Link 2, or maybe even add a it's my fault. It's a rank 5 XZ Pleiades, Constellar Pleiades, just to get the, overlay, get stuff into the graveyard, even get the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon. That's also an option to, put in an extra deck. But, there's a lot of ways to play the extra deck, but if I was playing Prosperity, I think I'd play extra deck a little different because I get to choose. But, playing Extravagance, it's random and you just get to draw 2. So, I think extra deck pretty good. Those are the only changes I would make. Going to side deck. All right, so if I'm going second, This guy. This is one of the best reason why people like playing Eldlich, Brandon Eldlich, because you get to run Lava Gold. We don't really, like I said, the normal summon ain't a big issue. You know, the normal summon ain't a big issue with this deck. So, I mean, the normal summon is not a, we don't have a main primary normal summon. So this guy is pretty, good shoot, especially going game 2, game 3. Also, enforce my hand traps with Nib. Because, if you open up, Nib Valley or, Nib with Ash or another hand trap, that's pretty, that's pretty much game. Nib, it has to be respected. And even if you just open up the Nib, it forces the Griffin if you're playing against Brave. So get that out the way so then they don't have the, have the fodder in order to go on a ban. But, Nib is very good against rogue combo decks. Now, going first. Now, my idea of going first, side, this was because, one of the errors, like, so I've been playing this deck for a little minute. One of the biggest issues I've seen with the deck is just, I lose to back row, like back row removal, like mass removal, like the evenly matches your Harpy Feather Dusters, your Lightning Storm. So I swap out a lot of the floodgates and the strikes for chainable traps. Traps that, like, okay, if they get hit, even if I get hit with mass removal, they can still resolve. Also some protection. So with that, so I play 3 Artifact Sanctum and 1 Sight. So, hey, this just start. Your opponent can't special summon nothing from the extra deck. Reinforce him with D-Bear. And I think D-Bear is falling a little bit out of favor because you're not seeing as many branded decks as much. And then, you could do it on a Punk Synchro called Synchro, but they tend to still have links. You can do it on the Dragon Link Synchro, Punk deck. The Dragon Link on Brave deck, but they still have, links in the Brave engine. So D-Bear is kind of falling out of favor, but, like I said, this 5 ratio, just, I might want, this is basically like another Sanctum. Sanctum's 4 and 5. But this came up, I played somebody was playing it, like, basically it was like a mirror match, but they was playing the 60 card variant of this deck, but they had Invoked too. And, this shut them down. So, it stops the Brand Fusion, it stops the Alistair. So really, this stops all the extra deck summons. So this works against especially the Dragon Link deck. If I play against Sky Striker, if I play against Punk Synchro, this is, this is where everybody combo is to get this. But this is just, hey, you hard draw, shoot, and you stop them for a turn. And like I said, all these are chainable. So, even if they got the Twin Twister or the Cosmic Cyclone, I could just chain these and still, get the effects. And then last, just Solemn Judgment. So like I said, going game 2 and 3, everybody's going to put in removal. This is primarily a back row center deck. So, everybody knows there's so many removal cards in the game. So that's why it's very hard for back row decks to really find a lot of, consistent success because, hey, like I said, back row decks, we tend to pop up in the format and, do good for a while. And then once people see we coming, especially at locals, everybody knows what everybody play at locals. So they start assigning specific cards for you. But, Judgment and the chainable traps, they make it where, these cards you're chaining, don't really hurt me as much. All right, that's the deck profile. So, once again, D the Dudes, this should be my second video. I'm gonna try to get more videos up, when I top in, my locals, regional seasons coming back up. We just finished with nationals, start recording, more people dueling. But, that's pretty much it. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Deuces.